Hi BookTube, it's Gina. Happy Thursday, how are you? It is snowy here and beautiful. I posted a picture of my snowy house on Instagram if you want to see what it looks like over there. It's so pretty here. It's cold. My hot water heater went out, so I don't have any hot water, and we're just getting over the flu. So it's been a little bit of a difficult week, but things are getting back to normal, and I wanted to talk to you today about 2023. What, Gina? Goals for 2023, you say? I normally don't set goals, and this is gonna be, I'm gonna say, a loose goal for 2023. Now, I was inspired by my friend Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, who does a high priority TBR list for the year. I think this year, did she have 22 or 23 books? She had a lot of books. And I don't have that many, but I do have 12 books. I've got 12 books that I pulled off of my shelves that I want to get to in 2023. Now, part of this is that I do want to read more of the books on my shelves. I've been buying books over the years that have a tendency to get put away and then live there forever. And there's been a ton of people this year who are doing 100, 500 book challenges where they read only off of their shelves until they hit X number. I'm not gonna do that because I do love book shopping too much, but I do want to read some of the books that are on my shelves. And so to that end, I went through my shelves and I pulled off 12 books that I want to read in 2023. I'm kind of thinking one per month, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how successful it is. But I thought it was a really fun idea. And I do really want to encourage myself to read some of these books that have been languishing on my TBR for quite some time. Let's start with the oldest. Let's start with the oldest book on my TBR. Well, it's not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest. This book is The Summer of Katya by Trevanian. And this book is my husband Greg's favorite book. And he's rereading it, and he's been bugging me or gently requesting that I read this book. And I just have never picked it up. So I want to read this one because it's Greg's favorite book and he's asked me to read it, and I really would like to be able to talk to him about it. So I'm gonna I'm probably gonna read this one in January because I don't want to let this one languish. This is probably my high priority book for 2023. Similarly, a dear family member of mine, last time I saw them, loaned me this, The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And I want to read this because this is one of their favorite books. And this is their actual copy. And I want to read this. It's very dear to me. It's a very dear person to me. And I want to read this because it's one of their favorite books. So this is also going on the pile. So these are two that I'm reading because a dear person has recommended them, excuse me, to me. Next, I've got these 3 books. Now, these 3 books are books that you all recommended to me. A few months ago, I did a top 10 old ladies in fiction video, and that video got a ton of recommendations from you about other old lady protagonists in fiction. And so I want to read these 3 this year that were recommendations from you. So the first is Clyde Edgerton's Walking Across Egypt. This is a short little thing, so I don't think this is going to be that difficult to read. This is the story of a spunky woman, a stray dog, a teenage delinquent, and the best home cooking in Leicester, North Carolina. Reading this book is like sitting down to a big round table full of the best food you ever put in your mouth. You just can't quit eating for a minute. It's that good, by Lee Smith, that blurb. So that sounds wonderful and cozy, right up my alley. And then the next two do not sound so cozy, but they sound really good. And I like my cozy books, but I don't want to only read that. I don't want to limit myself to only reading cozy books. I do want to branch out a little bit every once in a while. So this is The Door by Magda Szabo, introduction by Ali Smith, and it was translated by Len Rix from the Hungarian. I don't know much about this, but look at that cover. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is, I think, going to be a little bit of a, this is not going to, I don't think this is going to be a cozy read, but I think it's going to be really good. And also, same thing with this one. Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. And I've heard really good things about this one also. So this is on my list. This, let's see, winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, this author. So I'm very excited to read this. Next is, let's see, let's do this one. This is another one that has really, really, really been on my TBR. I've owned this book for years, probably since 1997, 98, when I moved into this house. This is A Gesture Life by Chang-rae Lee. And I don't really know much about it, but I own, let's see, I also own The Surrendered by him. I haven't read it. But this, one of the blurbs on the back, let's see, it's Talk Magazine's best book of, 1999. So I didn't buy it in 97 or 98 because it didn't come out till 1999. A finalist for the New York Book Award. So I really, really want to get to this. Lee elegantly creates suspense out of the seemingly static story of a man trying hard not to feel. He has written a wise and humane novel that both amplifies the themes of identity and exile. He addressed a native speaker and creates a wonderfully resonant portrait of a man caught between two cultures and two lives. So it's a beautiful cover. I think this is going to be wonderful. So I'm very excited to read that. Then next, I'm going to read The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey. Look at that cover. I also don't know much about this, but I think it's a sort of, let's see, on the back it says, if Willett Cather and Gabriel Garcia Marquez had collaborated on a book, The Snow Child would be it. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Two of my favorites. So I love that cover. Very excited to read that one. Next, I do want to read The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. I bought this book during the pandemic when it came out. It's a beautiful signed edition. Never read it. And I really want to read some of these what are now not so new releases. And so this is going to get addressed this year. Hopefully I will read, excuse me, a few more of the new releases that I've purchased over the last few years. But definitely this is going on my high priority list. Then also, let's see, this one is The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. Excuse me. This is the last Sarah Waters I have to read that I have not yet read. And so I'm a little sad about that because she has quickly become one of my favorite authors. And so I'm very excited to read this. I hope she is working on another book. She doesn't pump them out one per year like so many authors do, but they are so well worth the wait. So I'm very excited about that. And then I want to read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Can you believe I have not ever read this? Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot is reading this book in July for her book club. And so I will either read it with her in July, or possibly, I'm not sure, maybe July. That's sort of what I'm planning, I think, at this point, because it's fun to read. It's fun to read along with a book club. And can you believe I've never read that before? So this is definitely going to get read this year. And then the last two are cozy books, but there are two more cozies that have been, this one has been languishing again on my shelves, The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. I've heard such wonderful things about her, and I own a couple other books of hers, but I've never read anything. So I want to read this one. It says, Morton excels at creating absorbing mystery. This tale, like the maze in the garden of the title, is a fine place to lose yourself. So sounds really good. I love this cover. Look at this when you open it up. It's got a beautiful picture of simmers with secrets and strangeness, the quote from Good Housekeeping UK. So this I'm very excited about. And then lastly is Looking Forward by Marcia Willett. I think this was also a recommendation from one of you, not about old ladies, but this is in the best-selling tradition of Rosamund Pilcher. And I've read a few Marcia Willett's before. They're a little hit or miss for me. I've loved a few of them. I've despised a couple. But the cover of this is super, super pretty. And so this is definitely going to be cozy, and I'm looking forward to it also. So that is the 12 books I want to read in 2023. Have you read any of these? And if so, what order do you think I should read them in? I'm not sure yet how I'm going to tackle them. Don't really have a plan for that. I might give that a little bit of thought, other than knowing that I'm going to start with Katya. So let me know what you think, and I will talk to you later. Bye.